Hello, juniors. I'm going to be delivering your notes for today, Wednesday. I hope you had a nice work day. And today we're going to be continuing on with the law of sines. So you were introduced to the law of sines on Monday, and you were using that law of sines to solve for a missing side length in a non-right triangle. So today we're going to be looking at law of sines again, but we're going to be looking at when we want to solve for a missing angle. So just to review, our law of sines is given as side length A over sine of A equals side length B over the sine of angle B equals side length C over the sine of angle C. So just as a reminder, we use capital letters to reference all of our angles, and we use their corresponding lowercase letter to represent side lengths. And side lengths are always opposite of the same letter angle. So if in the example below, we have angle C as 63 degrees, the side length C is the 5.5. So let me just get that marked up for you here. Okay, so this is side length C on this side, okay, because it is opposite of the given angle C. Okay, so we know that opposite of A, this would be side length A. I'd use a lowercase a, and that the 4.7 is the side length B, lowercase b. Okay, so let's say that we want to solve for our angle B. That's our question mark down here. Okay, so we have two side lengths given. We have sides B and C, and we don't have side A, but we also, let's see, look at our angles. We've got one angle given, but not two. So we can use our law of sines to track what we know. So side A over sine of angle A, we don't know anything for A's right now. Okay, let's look at B's. Side length B was 4.7 over the sine of angle B, which is what we're trying to find, is B, would be equal to side length C, which is 5.5, over the sine of 63 degrees. Okay, so we look, and this is what we have so far. We realize right away that the A's aren't really helpful. So I'm going to be using the relationship between the other two to find our angle B. All right, I'm going to just scroll down a little bit to make some room. Okay, so from here, what we can do, we set up cross multiplication, which you've already done before. So let me just change colors here. Okay, so that gives us 4.7 sine of 63 degrees equals 5.5 sine of B. All right, well, if I'm trying to eventually get B by itself, I can then divide both sides by 5.5. And here's where you're going to go ahead and use your calculator. You can use your Google calculator. If you have a calculator home, you want to, again, make sure you're in degree mode. So you're going to do 4.7 times sine of 63 degrees and divide that by 5.5. And what you should get, let me switch colors here again, back to my green, is that sine B equals 0.7614. Okay, right now we have found what sine B is, but sine B being 0.7614 does not mean that angle B is 0.76 degrees. Okay, this is still sine of B, and I want just the angle B by itself. So to get B by itself, we're going to take the inverse operation of sine, which is our inverse sign, right, or that little sign with the superscript -1 on your calculator. I think on the Google calculator, the button you need to hit first is the inverse button, just as a reminder. So when we take the inverse sign, let it go, b equals inverse sign of the decimal 0.7614. We find out that b equals 49.6 degrees. I rounded there to the nearest tenth, but in a problem for your homework, it would tell you how to round. But so if you got that, you are following along just fine. If you find yourself running into any problems with the calculator portion of this, reference back to yesterday's video. Mr. Suhar did a great demonstration of how to use Google Calculator in case you're a little rusty on that. But hopefully this helps, and this is what you're going to be doing on today's homework.